Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today is kind of a multi-playlist video. I'm going to explain for why in a second. So, the first part of this is, as you can see, I've got some Skaven Clan Rats here. And we're going to do an unboxing of them. So it's kind of a retro unboxing, where I take products that have been out for a while and I'm going to do an unboxing video of them and we can have a look at the different ones. I am trying to get my hands on some of the older Skavens so we can look back at some of the other plastic kits. I've got some already built, because obviously from every iteration of Skaven. But what I actually want to show is how the sprues have changed and things like that. So that's something I'm looking into. The second thing is that Skaven are my new Age of Sigmar army, ready for Age of Sigmar 2.0. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I've had many Skaven armies over the years. They were the first army I ever collected, and no matter what else I move to, I will always inevitably come back to Skaven, because all hail the Great Horned Rat. Thirdly, I'm starting Kings of War. I know I've said some bad things about it. Well, not bad things about the game itself, but more bad things about... I don't like some of the way people play it. Which is a very loaded statement, but I'm going to explain myself now. So, the way Kings of War works is it says that you are allowed to use anything to represent the models. And I think, in theory, that's a brilliant idea. So... if you want to use Games Workshop products, you want to use weird miniatures, you want to use Privateer Press, you know, as long as it fits a theme, etc., then you can do it. But basically, some people have taken this to mean that they can go to the local pound shop, they can buy a couple of ornamental cannons, they can buy a plastic toy dinosaur, and they can use some cardboard bases to represent a unit, and that's my army. And I've seen it a lot. Obviously, that's not allowed in a tournament setting, at least, or I would hope not. But that's what always put me off. But then, through watching a few guys on YouTube that I really like the videos of, obviously Luke's Affordable Paint Service being a big one, but a couple of others which, for the life of me, names escape me at this moment in time. I do apologise about that. It's made me have a rethink on the game itself. I've always been quite a fan of the rules, I just haven't been a fan of that modelling aspect, and I'm not a fan of some of the first stuff that came out for Kings of War, some of the undead stuff and things like that. I'm not a fan of the dwarf models, however some of the newer models they've been releasing I am quite excited for. I like the demons and things like that. So yeah, Kings of War is something we're going to start to look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Ratkin for Kings of War, because obviously Skaven, my first love. Ratkin seems like the sort of next evolution of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to put them on circle bases so they can be used in Age of Sigmar, along with my Shadespire Skaven, some other stuff I've got, but that are also going to slot into scenic unit bases for Kings of War, so a horde size base where the little the circular bases will slot in. And to help me do that, I've ordered some of the little MDF bases from TT Combat, because they're thinner, meaning I don't have to pad the bases up as much compared to, say, the size of a Games Workshop base, which, just for reference, it's kind of that big. So if you've got that, you're going to have to obviously stack it up to at least there. So I've ordered some thinner bases. So I'm kind of going to multi-purpose this army. What I would actually like is just that Games Workshop would go, you know what? Although Warhammer Fantasy Battle, which was my favourite game, is dead, and Age of Sigmar is doing quite well, we would like to bring out a large-scale battle version of Age of Sigmar. So basically reintroduce Warhammer Fantasy Battle rule style, but in the Age of Sigmar aesthetic, etc. And to do that, all they'd have to do is you keep your circle bases. They could just release movement trays like they did for War of the Rings, where you can rank up a certain number of models. And I think that would probably appease a lot of people. I mean, we'd still be sad at the death of, you know, the old world and all of that fluff being I'm going to say moved on, but that's being generous to it. to Age of Sigmar's. I'm not a big fan of the lore. I know some people do, some people don't. This isn't what this video is about. I actually like Age of Sigmar, the game. I'm still not a big fan of the lore, but I think it would appease a lot of people. But anyway, getting back to it. We're going to unbox this video. We're trying a bit of a new setup today, so I'm messing with some new lighting and some new microphone-y stuff, so hopefully it turns out well. So let's get this bad boy open. Now, I still worked for Games Workshop when this box was first released. And in fact, it was one of the last box sets that was ever released while I still worked for the company. Exciting stuff. So you've got the cool box art there. I think these retail at about £20 and 50p these days, and you get 20 Skaven in there, so it's not terrible. And there you have it. And I think it was like 2011, 2012, something like that. I don't remember. Maybe even before that. I'll have to look into that, actually. It's been a long time anyway. They still come with square bases, as you can see. I'm going to reappropriate them for other things. Because reasons? Yeah, because I want to, basically. So, you get the instructions, as you always do. Now, as you can see, this is giving you kind of an indication of how old this kit is now. It shows you how to build it. That's fair enough. It doesn't come with your battle tomes stuff, like your stats for them, which it does for loads of other things. I mean, even when I bought Skinks, which was a year ago, and the Skinks is a much older kit, obviously that came with them inside, which shows you that Skaven haven't really had a lot of love in Age of Sigmar, except for Clan Pestilence. Hopefully that's going to change soon, or else we riot, etc. I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look at this sprue. So you get, as I recall, you get one sprue which has your command stuff on, then you get another sprue which is just your clan rat. So let's have a look at this one. Do them one at a time, so get that bad boy out of the way. So as you can see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on one, and then 10 on the other. You get the stuff to make musicians on the other, as I said, but you get the spears, because Skaven used to be able to have spears or hand weapons. I believe they still can. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But these came out just before 8th edition. I think it was one of the last kind of armies released before 8th. For Warhammer Fantasy Battle, or at least it was one of the last few, and you started to use the sort of digital style sculpting, so Skaven went from being very furry to this more sort of mole rat kind of look, which I really liked. I like the way they're more hunched over. I like the armor's got this kind of feudal Japan kind of feel to it. Obviously you get the different design shields. I kind of would have preferred more of these, just the wooden ones. But I get why you get the different ones. You get the triangle-shaped ones. I thought that was really cool extra. It was this was kind of when they stopped giving you loads of useless extras. You also don't get any small rats, which makes me sad. But I can live with it. It's a really nice kit. It kind of got to the point in Warhammer sort of 8th edition where you needed like 5 boxes of these to make one unit. Well, no, to make like your core, enough units to play the game basically, because you needed 2 core units and then like a hero choice. So it became quite expensive if you didn't buy the Island of Blood, which then became Spire of Dawn or something like that, and has now dissipated into obscurity, which is a shame because it was a really beautiful set, and it was one of the only places you could get a couple of the plastics things, and the rat ogres and stuff like that were beautiful. But I'm talking too much about stuff that isn't relevant here. So as you can see there, you've got your different clan rats, and these are cool because they came with the bases, the feet that are flat like this, which is perfect for what I want because they don't have the little tag, the little slot. As you can see, no need for a slot base, which means that they can be put on any bases really without any kind of modifications or anything like that. All their feet are flat, so they'll glue really, really nicely onto the wooden bases. I'm going to build these up with the hand weapons because I think they look absolutely cool. I loved like the cleaver, get like the little Eshini style daggers, You get things like the flails and stuff like that. And these kinds of blades, this was the first time these had been introduced outside of Eshen. So you got these kind of, what have now become somewhat of a mainstay of Skaven, really, which are like these double blades. And as I said, they changed the aesthetic of Skaven quite a lot with the release of this kit. This is where the same kit, this came out, the Screaming Bell / Plague Furnace and things like that came out at the same time. So the Skaven set itself is quite eclectic in terms of that the Gutter Runners are still gosh old. You've still got really old Rat Ogres. And then you started to get like the new kits coming through. Like the Plague Months are still old, but those Plague Month models are beautiful. And then the metal models like your Globadiers and stuff like that. To my knowledge, they were the second set of Globadiers. I'm pretty sure I've got an older style of Globadier, but they're knocking on a bit now. Skaven really do need a lot of love, especially in the Age of Sigmar setting. But looking at this, this was kind of our first look into my Age of Sigmar / Kings of War Skaven / Rat King armies. I'm looking forward to getting these painted up. The style that they're going in, I can give you a quick peek. I'm going to be doing a video on my Shadespire Skaven. Let's get this into focus, but that's the colour scheme we're going for, which is blues and creams. And I've got one more here to give you an example. So yeah, that's kind of the colour I'm going for. I'm hoping that we're going to start getting some more play videos soon. I know we've got some, with Age of Sigmar 2 coming out, we're quite enthused for it. And there's a lot of stuff going on. I think Alan might even look at his Quadrant Overlords again. But you never know when it comes to Alan. Let's go with fingers crossed, but probably not. I think it's the easiest way to describe it. But no, in general, we are quite enthused for the new Age of Sigmar stuff coming out. Hence this. But if you're into your kind of fantasy-based battles, like the old Warhammer Fantasy Battle, then maybe check out Kings of War. It might be for you. This has been the first in my series of retro unboxings. I'm going to try and grab myself some older stuff, and we can have a look at those as well. As I said, I'm currently looking on eBay and things like that for the older Clan Rats, but they have to still be on sprues. If anybody who's watching this video has any of the older, either, you know, the really old ones that came in like Warhammer Quest, which I think was the third version, maybe the second version of Plastic Clan Rats, because the ones in Advanced Hero Quest, they were the first plastics, I believe, and then they released the set, which to me is the ones that basically I saw that box and I wanted to collect Skaven. So they're the definitive Clan Rats for me. I really loved them. And then they released the ones that were in 1,000,000 parts when Games Workshop was going through its haze and 1,000,000 part plastic model. Now build 100 of them phase. Ooh, dark times. And then these ones that came out, which are beautiful and a bit timeless, and I think in 10 years these are still going to hold up well. I would put these Clan Rats up against the Shadespire ones quite happily. You know, they've got the similar feel, similar look. They haven't felt the need to change it, just maybe like spruce up the digital sculpting a little bit. But yeah, so as always guys, thank you very much for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if it's your first time here. Check out some of our other videos, maybe, you know, we're a channel for you, and you'll give us a subscribe. And like I was saying, if you've got any of the old Clan Rats and you're looking to get rid of them, drop me a message, either direct or just a comment in the comment section below. I'll get in touch and we'll maybe look at doing a swap, or I'll buy them, or if you just want to send them for free, you don't need to do that, it was a joke. But yeah, get in contact with me if you've got any of the old Skaven. But as I said, they've got to still be on sprues for the purposes of giving you guys like a retrospective look at them. Thank you very much for your time. Break the dice, gods. Hope to smile upon you. Take care.